Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be telling you how to find out how a person truly is. Now before I go into that, I want to tell you why this is important. Well, it's very important because there's a lot of situations in life where you're dating someone or you're considering marrying that person or establishing a relationship, and how they appear either initially or maybe even a month or a few years into the relationship is not how they truly are completely, and you may not see certain sides of that person until certain situations are put into their lives. And if you find that out too late, like after you get married or spend a lot of money on that person or whatever, you can screw yourself over, especially if you have children with that person and so forth. So I'm going to start this off with a very quick story. So this man, he met this girl and they seem to click very well. So over the course of the next couple years, they decide to go traveling in Thailand. And this seems to be a very common thing nowadays. People love going to Thailand. Anyhow, they go there and they experience some stressful times and, unexpected occurrences. And through that, he experienced sides to this girl that he never would have experienced, and he knew he never would have experienced if he hadn't been traveling to Thailand with this person. And he realized immediately that he would never want to marry this person, let alone spend another moment with this person. And again, this can happen all the time. So back to how you can tell. Well, one way is of course to travel, and because travel allows you to be in a place with another person and experience stressful or unexpected situations and see how they handle themselves when they're not at their best, it can be a great way of seeing if this person is actually like that all the time. Now again, it doesn't mean that if someone's pissed off or stressed, that's something you should hate, but you want to see how that person really is. For instance, if you really want someone who's kind and that person is very rude to people when they're not on their best behavior with you, that's one thing. If you want a wife or a partner who's not very controlling and very rude to you and abusive, well, they may seem very nice initially, but over time you find out that, okay, once the makeup's off her face, once she's got acclimated to you after a few months, once she's no longer on her best behavior or she thinks she has you completely under her control, a new side to her comes out. So one way is travel, and some of you guys can't travel for extended periods of time. I think there's certain elements of travel that are probably the bigger concepts that you want to consider using. So the biggest that comes to mind is living with this person. And I don't mean just moving in with that person and then spending the night. I mean actually living with this person. Buying a room or apartment together, sharing a space together, and having that as your official home for both of you. And this causes both people over time, over a few months, to really get to know that person and all the things that they're hiding, how they wake up, how they change, all the stressful things that come about in the early mornings can get revealed. So that's another way that you may want to consider. And then I guess the third way is to just spend a extended amount of time with that person in different situations and environments. And there's two key points I want to make with that. One is spend different situations. One is to spend a lot of time with that person. Now it doesn't have to be all over a single day or single week. In fact, that may just be too much, 6 hours with a person. But maybe spending an extended period of time straight through with that person and on a consistent amount of time. So maybe over the course of the next few months, you're just constantly spending time with that person. And then the other key point to that is having different situations and environments where you can get to see this person. How does this person deal with stressful situations? How does this person interact with other people? How do they tackle and handle different life situations? How do they interact with other people when you're not around? These sort of things may show a different side to her. And finally, getting to know him or her and how they think about life, what their interests are, their opinions on things, and their life experiences and past experiences. These things, I think, in the long run these things over time can help you get a better sense of what that person is like. For instance, if that person pretty much has had a very easy, lucky life for most of their lives, then that could be one sign that maybe in the future they're not prepared. And then if their mindset or how they think is one where it's just like and then for instance, let's say their interests or hobbies or how they think and talk and what they focus on in life are all very fluffy things like TV shows, Kim Kardashian, or they're very easily influenced or naive about the world or easily stressed out. I mean, that could lead to potential other problems because they may have gotten it easy then, but everyone in life has to face certain things. Parenting. Everyone in life may have to face certain things like parenting, unexpected accidents, stressful situations, and they may not be able to handle that. So the last thing I want to say is don't freak yourself out, don't stress over it too much. But I do think it is important because there's definitely many cases out there where a guy or girl jumps to conclusions too quickly or just decides to marry someone or spend time with that person, and had they gotten to know that person deeper or knew how they truly were in certain situations, a completely different side to that person would have been revealed, where it would have been very clear that this is not a good match and you should cut off ties. And then they end up paying for it later, whether it's, they find out one day and it's too late or something else occurs. So again, these are just my personal opinions. There may be better examples or different things you can try to maybe get to figure out how that person truly is more. I think this is a very, very important thing because for me, not just in terms of dating, but I think in terms of making friends, meeting people, I found that once you get to really know a person, they're oftentimes different from what you thought of them in the first week or first day of meeting that person. And I've had situations where, you think this person is pretty cool, and then a certain situation pops up, or over time you realize, man, was I wrong, that this person is horrible, or just completely bad person, very mean, very controlling, whatever, or not someone you want to hang around either. I've had this occur a lot of times. I don't know about you. I found that people can oftentimes be showing just a certain side to themselves. Especially if maybe you are really rich and you're flamboyantly showing off that, or you're just someone who's very attractive, or all this stuff. And the problem with that is if you're super handsome and you're famous, or you have a lot of social status or social proof, plus you're really rich, and you show that to the girl or guy, they are on their best behavior with you. And they're trying their best to show you just the best parts to that. They're trying their best to show you just the best parts to them. And guess what the problem is with that? You don't get to see how they truly are, which is a huge issue. That's all I gotta say in this video. As always, like and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. I will see you later. Peace.